Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target, your home for cricket insight. It's me and Faiz today discussing cricket. Not much action in terms of Indian cricket on the field, but off the field, the women's IPL, bids have been announced, teams have been bought, and there's going to be an auction. So that's huge for the women's game. We'll discuss that. We'll also, give some player ratings for the India-New Zealand series we just finished, and looking ahead to the T20 series, which starts in a couple of days. Faiz, how are you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. It's a bit chilly in it. थोड़ी सर्दी हो रही है, but yeah, I mean, with all the news that's been going around in the Indian media with regards to the women's IPL, मतलब काफी, it's taken the whole, media by storm. The amount of money that's been pumped in, the amount of money that each team has been bought for, and we have 5 teams now, and hopefully, I think the auction will also be coming up pretty soon. So it's going to be interesting. Gives a lot of new prospects to women across the world to take cricket up as a opportunity to like a career opportunity as well. So it's good news. Yeah, and also like looking forward for rating the players in India, New Zealand, and what we can expect in the T20 from those who are going to be carried on. So yeah, there were a few BBL matches as well, which we'll get to eventually as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the Dubai game might have been rained out. I'm surprised if it's going on right now, but I think it might have been rained out. And then the SAT20 has a break also. But let's talk about the India game, India versus New Zealand, the series. I mean, overall convincing, apart from the first one day where it was very close. India did dominate that series. For you, who was India's best player? Were you in agreement with Shubman Gill as the man of the series? And how much would you give him out of 10?
For me, Shubman Gill, I would obviously for me also it will be Shubman Gill because of the way basically भाई उन्हें कैसा आके बाय स्टॉर्म ले लिया और पूरी सीरीज को अपने हाथ में ले लिया उन्हें. He took it under his control. He definitely was having a bit of hesitance कि भाई ईशान किशन के जगह पे अगर उसको बिठा दिए तो कैसा रहेगा. But मेरे लिए यार 100% Shubman Gill has sort of अपनी जगह सही सीमेंट कर लिया, and he's taken the opportunity with both ने I don't 3 hands 4 hands जितने भी hands कम है उसके लिए, because a 208, then a crucial 34, and then another 100, man. That is enough to say that this guy आप 10 out of 10 के अलावा कुछ दे नहीं सकते. मे बी अप्सरा पेंसिल ले तो 15 out of 10 दूंगा मैं उसको. But yeah, this guy was fantastic throughout the series.
I give him 9.5 because I think double century मारना था last game में. बहुत छोटा ground था वो.
Always room for improvement. Always room for improvement with you.
Yeah, that's just a joke. But चिराग भाई, नमस्ते दोस्तों, नमस्ते अन्ना, कैसे हैं सब? ठीक ठाक. Abu Bakr Singh, Siraj Bhai, number one bowler. Yeah, in the ICC rankings, he is the number one now. But is he part of India's best squad when everyone's fit? Yes, he is. I think in ODIs, he's going to be, even if Bumrah is fit, he will be opening the bowling with Jasprit Bumrah, or he'll be bowling alongside him. In test matches, he has also, you'll see him in the Border Gavaskar for sure. I think he'll play along with probably Shami. So right now he's, yeah, I think he's in India's
And
best
I
spot
think
right
right
now.
now, at this point of time, he has the most variations also in all the bowlers, apart from probably like Bumrah. But he has a lot more variations in him than what he had a few years ago. He developed different kinds of ball, like different kinds of variations, which helps him to have that edge on the others. Right, even on a flat pitch, he can get you wickets. Even with his temperament, he can get you wickets. I think that also that he's developed in recent years is why he's rightfully number one, but also does fit in that Indian best squad right now.
Yeah, and also accuracy with the new ball control आ गया उसको नए ball पे, like he's not spraying it around. And I think those loose deliveries जो आप देखते थे सिराज से एक आध delivery every over, he doesn't give that anymore. He keeps it tight and he picks up wickets in the power play with that ball the in swinging delivery, off the seam, off the pitch, sorry, or in the air. He brings that ball in and makes it difficult for the batsman and pulls him through the gate. So Siraj has really improved. How much would you give him out of 10 for this series? He didn't play the last game, but if you just want to judge him on the first two games.
On the first two games, also taking in consideration the probably the Sri Lankan series, I mean that might not fit into this, but yeah, 4 wickets I think in the first ODI लिया था उन्हें, second में उन्हें कितने लिया था यारो? I think एक लिया था but economical था. So yeah, overall I would give him like let's say 9.5. Yeah, definitely. I think I would give him a 9.5 there as well because Shubman is on 10. Two tens can stand together. I think a podium में 1, 2, 3 का spot is. I'll give Siraj that second spot. So yeah, I think भाई बहुत जबरदस्त है यार उन्हें मेरे लिए अभी बेस्ट बॉलर चल रहा है इंडिया के लिए एंड आई होप ही कंटिन्यूज हिज फॉर्म इन रिदम बट वही आईपीएल में आए बात कैसा परफॉर्म करेंगे देखना है आईपीएल इज समवेयर दैट आई एम गोइंग टू एग्जामिन हिम एज वेल.
No, I think 50 over में तो he's established himself over the last year. It's not just this series. अगर आप उसका एक साल performance देखे, whether it's the West Indies tours, Zimbabwe tour, all these tours wherever he's gone, or even playing at home, he's really improved and he's shown it now as well against Sri Lanka and New Zealand. I'm really impressed. मेरे को तो he's taken by surprise. I always use a very good red ball bowler, but with the white ball he's really improved. So kudos to Siraj over there. Let's talk about Virat Kohli. I know he had a
Yeah,
great
big
series
question. I was
against Sri
coming to that.
Lanka.
Yeah.
Against Sri Lanka, he had a great series, but how much would you give him out of 10 for New Zealand series? He didn't get a 50, no, if I'm not mistaken, no 50 or no
No,
100 in
he's
this
got, I
series.
think, combinedly, he's got 36 or 40 runs, if I'm not wrong. Something like that.
Sorry?
In all of the ODIs put together, I think his score is somewhere near like a 35 or something, 45 or something like that in three
Hmm.
matches. So
Hmm.
yeah, for me, he's been very bad, and I think he should have been a bit more improved because of the scenes and the pitches in Indore. At least he could have gotten 100. I think I know he was got a slower ball and he was taken by surprise or something. But उस तरीके का wicket पे आपसे तो expectations थे कि 100 के मेरे लिए I would still give him like a I would give him a 3 very honestly. Like I don't want to sugarcoat it or something, but मेरे हिसाब से बहुत खराब था because given the form that he was coming from is the only reason I would say that.
Hyderabad में क्या हुआ था? Yeah, Hyderabad में he got out. At that time, Shubman Gill carried the team. The
Yeah.
third one day, I won't be too critical on him. I feel that he was just trying to take the charge and get to that 4-500. I'm okay with that. And the second one day, they were chasing a low score. He played a sublime straight drive, but then got out. So yeah, you can say it's been a
See, you can
below average
sugarcoat it
series.
saying the word of sublime and stuff like that, and he was trying to take the charge. But again, I don't think he didn't needed to take that much of a charge if he would have just like he did set himself. अच्छा खासा 34 पे आ गए थे, he was going fast. You had other batsmen waiting, so you could have taken your time. I'm not saying you have to make 100 every match for me, but given the condition of the pitch and given your class, obviously, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from it, but that's how I'm just thinking.
No, no, that's what I was coming to. I wasn't saying that, like, I wasn't trying to sugarcoat his performance. I was saying that he played a sublime shot and got out, and it was a below average series for him because he didn't score, I think. So I agree with your thing. That's what I was trying to say. I was not trying to sugarcoat the
भाई
defending
सोफिया को छोड़
performance.
के यहाँ पे आ गए भाई यहाँ पे बड़े लोग आ गए देखो सोफिया को छोड़ के भाई खाना कब खाओगे भाई आप कब खिलाओगे तो हम जब भी खाएंगे
वैसे भाई नवाब साहब तो पूरा दिन खाते हैं भाई, फिर लेग स्ट्रेच करना पड़ता है, एक्स्ट्रा चेयर मिलता है उनको, फिर अंदर से करते हैं, हमको सर्दी से रिपोर्टिंग करना पड़ता है। नवाब साहब तो खाते रहते हैं, उनको तो मुझे
देखो
लगा
मैं
था।
मुस्तफा भाई को घर की याद दिला रहा हूँ तो मुस्तफा भाई कनाडा से है तो मुस्तफा भाई इज यूज्ड टू दिस वेदर एंड आई थिंक ही हैज टू ऑलवेज गो बैक टू हिज रूट्स सो आई थिंक या मुस्तफा जस्ट मेकिंग यू फील एट होम ब्रो
Sudhir, I think minus 10 out of 10 for Virat Kohli.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, yeah, 3 out of 10, I'll agree with that. 3, 4 out of 10, you can't give him much more than that. But Rohit Sharma, he got 100 in the end. And I think in Hyderabad, how much did
Just
he
a
get?
second.
I don't remember if he got a
34.
50,
34.
34. 34, and the second one day he got a 50, right?
Yeah, so I would say he got an 8. For me, he got an 8.5 ले देंगे रोहित शर्मा को, because कैप्टनसी भी अच्छा करा, वाइट वॉश बैक टू
Hmm.
बैक दो हो गए चुके हैं. तो I'll give him an 8.5, because देखो the century that he got, again it was on the cards. A lot of people said कि आई थिंक मैंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में भी थोड़ा चिड़ में आ गया था जब मीडिया उसको बोल रही थी कि भाई आपको 3 साल लग गए और ये लग गए. साइड हेलो, एक मिनट, मैं वो 3 साल में 12 ओडीआई खेला हूँ या 13 ओडीआई खेला हूँ. आपके आप जब ये whenever you broadcast stuff like this, make sure it's right and it's adequate, because we were sitting at home and stuff like that. So Rohit Sharma मेरे लिए, the way he's come back from that Bangladesh tour, even in the Bangladesh tour he managed to get a 50. तो I think उसके हिसाब से बढ़िया रहा, and the way he's captain, rotated his bowlers, maintained the like maintained the field, everything. मेरे लिए तो 8.5 है रोहित शर्मा की performance.
Yeah, I agree with that. 8.5 is fair assessment. He's got 100, he's got a 50, and he's won the series as
No
captain.
sound. Sorry to cut you there. No sound. It's just me. अच्छा अब आ गया. क्या हुआ भाई, कान में डाल ले गए?
No, I double checked that when he think it's coming. I checked it on YouTube. Maybe
Yeah.
it might have been his connection. So yeah, this one is okay. Yeah, so Rohit Sharma, I think I agree with that 8.5 out of 10. मगर वही है असल टेस्ट उसका रहेगा end of the year, but for now he's doing whatever he has to do. I'll tell you, I'll be very honest with you. Like, these 6 wins, the rankings and everything, it doesn't mean much to me because in the last 10 years, I've seen all this already. It's not nothing different that I've seen from the Indian team,
But
and they
Mhm.
dominate at home. So I'm still waiting for that ICC tournament, and I just hope they do well over there. That's all I can say.
But that is exactly the temperament that Rohit Sharma has in him as well. अगर आप उन्हें प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में क्या बोला recently, I think कल की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस थी जो उन्हें बोला कि for me this ratings and stuff don't matter for us. I mean, I don't know how we were fourth a year ago. I don't know how we were fourth, because we won all of our tournament going into the T20 World Cup. I don't understand that. तो मैं तो ये नहीं देखता कि भाई ये रेटिंग वेटिंग क्या है. For me it is, we are trying to create a temperament and a temperament कहते हैं, temperament and a template इन दिस टीम विच वी वांट टू फॉलो. इस वजह से आप लोग जो बोलते हो ना, इसको खिला लो उसको खिला लो, आप इनको डाल दो टीम में उनको डाल, दे समटाइम दे जस्ट डोंट फिट आवर प्लान्स. अब थोड़े लोग बोले इंदौर में, आई थिंक लोकल बॉय कौन है इंदौर का, आई फॉरगॉट, बट उसको खिला लो बोले थे आप. अब रांची में ईशान बोलेगा कि मुझे खिला लो. आई कांट डू दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, राइट? दिस इज द इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम. आई कांट मेक एवरीबॉडी हैप्पी. I don't believe in these ratings. It's that we have a plan and we stick to those plans. And rightfully, like you're saying, it's just when it comes towards the ICC tournament, that's when we have to see if all of this talk that he's doing is
Yeah,
actually being implemented or not.
and I
But
don't
more or
believe
less,
in
I think
the
he's on your temperament. I think more
I
or
don't
less he
believe in
is on
the
your temperament.
I don't believe in the ratings either because you just lost to Bangladesh. Like that you don't
Yeah.
you can't forget that you just lost a series to Bangladesh away from home in a slightly like a bit more challenging conditions or whatever it is. It's away from home. You lost your series there. You came home. You
Mm.
won two comfortable series, but that doesn't mean that uh, everything is well. There's still a lot of work to be done, and you have to look back to that Bangladesh series, the mistakes you made there. Yeah, you can say that over here you might have fixed it, but again, when crunch time comes, I still need to be convinced. I'm not convinced yet with Rohit Sharma.
Big question now to you. Hardik Pandya, what do you rate? Hardik Pandya from the first to the third ODI in terms of batting, bowling together, obviously, but how do you rate him overall out of 10?
7 out of 10, I think. The last game he was amazing. Apart from that, he was decent. Like Hyderabad, he got a stick, but he bowled well in a couple of overs, but he got smashed over there. With the bat, he was slow in the first 2 games. In the third game, he picked up that strike rate. I'll give him 7 out of 10.
Hmm.
So yeah,
7 out of 10.
for
Got
Mr.
the
Hardik Pandya.
पंटर भाई is here. आ गया. आप आते की सर्दी शुरू हो गई भाई. गर्मी क्या, कनाडा की सर्दी यहाँ पे ला ली है शायद. Got the
मैं
cold
यही
weather.
बोलने वाला था दिस वेदर वेदर पूरा ओवरकास्ट था इतना अच्छा मौसम चल रहा था मगर आज पूरा ओवरकास्ट बारिश पड़ी पूरा ऐसा दिख रहा था टोरंटो में या मैनचेस्टर में है पूरा दिन लाइक अंधेरा था स्लाइटली
बेहतरीन. अरे भाई,
डिप्रेसिंग
यहाँ पे एक भाई की समस्या हेल्प करो. उसका भाई सोफिया अब रिप्लाई नहीं दे रही यार. मशहूर हो गई होगी सुधीर भाई, भूल जाते हैं ना. दे फॉरगेट द रूट्स एक बार. देयर इज हॉलीवुड एंड स्टफ, सो आई थिंक भूल गई अपने को, बट कोई बात नहीं. There's
जी
more fish in the sea, and more rain in the weather.
हम्म,
But yeah, so overall, from New Zealand's perspective, if we're going, I think that okay. Let's just do one more. Maybe I could How was Ishan Kishan for you? For you, Ishan Kishan's performance throughout the series, wicket keeping problems, batting did not get started. Came in times. I mean, I will give him that. Like you have been also saying the same thing about उसकी ऊपर नीचे कर दिए first spot से उसको fourth में गिरा दिया. But how do you rate Ishan Kishan after back to back? Like even in T20, he played a decent amount of games. So how do you see Ishan Kishan overall?
Yeah, this series 2 out of 10, but I'm not worried about Ishan Kishan. I think he still has a long way to go, a lot of games to play, a lot to learn, and he will gain experience. He showed me with a double hundred that he has the potential, and definitely he will look to be consistent. Even Shubman Gill, if you notice, he did not have a good run. In the months leading into these home series, so I think it's okay with them. People were saying after a certain time कि शुभन को भी ड्रॉप करो पृथ्वी शॉ को खिलाओ ऐसा भी बोल रहे थे लोग. Now no one's going to talk about Shubman Gill, so I think same thing with Ishan Kishan. Just give him time. He had to adjust in the middle order. That took a bit of time, but as a talented player, I think he will look to improve in that certain situation also, not just opening the batting, but I think batting at number 4 he'll look to improve and score more runs. Yeah, right now he didn't have a good series. I'll give him 210.
All right, Shardul Thakur, Siraj, so we already did. Shardul Thakur, Mohammad Shami, and Umran Malik. ये तीन में से if you had to pick the best.
Umran Malik only got one game.
Yeah,
Then you have
Umran
to go
Malik. Yeah.
Shami and Thakur. I'll go with Shami. But Thakur is very impressive in the last game. But when the pressure was on,
Neck and neck, right? थोड़ा बहुत neck to neck दिख रहा है दोनों का situation because Shardul
not
Thakur.
really. Not really. When the pressure was on in the first couple games, Thakur, Shami, like in the second game, he won the game single-handedly. Thakur, yes, you can say that he picked up 3 wickets in the last game, but Shami, was the reason why New Zealand got all out for 100, and that was a sublime spell that he bowled. So I'll give Shami the edge over there. Thakur with the bat, yesterday he was amazing, but in the first two ODIs he was expensive, man. Pehla ODI to almost hara diya tha Shardul Thakur. I know Shami didn't have a good match either, but Thakur was very expensive.
Mm-hmm. Coming to New Zealand, not a lot of performances to remember except Devon Conway's probably century and Michael Bracewell, obviously that innings that he played that century as well, and Mitchell Stantner pitching in. But from New Zealand's point of view, who do you think were their heroes and who do you think they were zeros?
I mean, with the top order, the middle order, except for Conway, in that one game, they didn't do well, so all of them were zeros.
Yeah.
From the other perspective, hero perspective, for me, Santana was really good, but Bracewell, man, that innings was a innings that you will not. You'll never forget that, like the innings. It was a brilliant innings in Hyderabad, and he almost took New Zealand through. Again, yesterday I felt that if he just gave some support to Conway and if he continued, I mean, after Conway got out, if he continued to bat with Santler, they could have got close again. But you can't rely on him every single time. I think that's where the top order, the likes of Latham and Phillips, should have really contributed, but they didn't.
Do you think had they won in Hyderabad, would that make like a difference in the temperament of the New Zealand dugout and
Of course.
maybe the second ODI would have been more interesting for them?
Of course. And also it would have put a lot of pressure on India and Rohit Sharma, 100%. So they would also be on the back foot. For us, they would be a bit more cautious. They wouldn't play with as much freedom if New Zealand had won the first game. So 100% it affected. It would have affected if they won that game.
Mm-hmm. Henry Shipley, Blair Trickner, and और कौन था नया bowler उनके पास? I think ये दोनों ही थे because Ferguson was probably the bowler. Yeah, Duffy. How do you think these three did in terms of, I know debut series there for Shipley and the guy, but how do you think and do you feel that they're for the future of New Zealand better?
Yeah, look, Duffy got spanked. He got scored. They hit 100 of him in the 10 overs. So usko bahut bura mare. Magar in that spell also in those 10 overs, I saw some good signs from him. He did pick up 3 wickets. He bowled a certain length which caused some issues and it helped him pick up wickets. So I think there's bright future in all of them. Tickner as well was very impressive. I was very impressed with him yesterday. He was the reason why they pulled things back. Otherwise, 500 का score होता. Tickner was really, really good in that sense.
टिकनर बिल्कुल वो पुराने जमाने का बॉलर दिखता है. उसका नाम भूल गया. ऑस्ट्रेलिया का था. देखो curly hair with I think was Dennis. Who was that? Dennis Lilly? I'm not sure who it was.
Dennis Lilly had long hair.
Yeah, curly hair मुच्छी जो थी ना सेम वैसी दिख रहा था मेरे को. ब्लेयर टिकनर पुराने जमाने का कोई हीरो. But yeah, I think Chirag Bhai says currently Siraj over Shami. But Shami had much more in Arsenal. Arsenal are top one of the league. So let's see if we can get back to his form fully. And he did show signs, obviously, what Shami can do. And so what's your take on Siraj versus Shami right now?
Yeah, I agree with this statement. Right now, Siraj is better, but Shami overall has a lot of talent and skill, and he's more experienced too. So I agree with that statement.
Experience matters, huh? Shipley doesn't bend his back, just stands and delivers.
So it's not just that experience matters. Sorry, I think it's also that Shami actually has like certain skills that people think you feel that he's just coming in and he'll bowl a line length. He's actually quicker than you expect.
Mm.
He's very accurate as well. He can hit that test match line if he wants to. He can hit the Yorker. He has actually a lot of talent. It's just that consistency was lazy at times. That's why he gets hit. But he has that pace as well, and he can cause issues for the batsman and really catch them off guard, Mohammad Shami. So yeah, it's not just the experience; it's he has a lot of skills.
Yeah, 100%. Now, since this is wrapped up mostly all the play rating, and we know how we went about it today. There was like a lot of news with regards to the women's IPL, right? And a lot of, I think they came up with
Mm.
5 teams, which were Mumbai, Bangalore, Lucknow, Gujarat, and one more that I'm missing is
Delhi.
Delhi. Yeah. So,
Mm.
how was your take on this? What's your take on this? I mean, I know they managed to outdo the men's IPL in terms of money spent and to purchase these teams. But yeah, how do you look at it?
How do you look at it? I think I look at it. It's amazing, amazing for the women's game, man. It's great. This is going to
Amazing,
be
huh?
career
It's
defining.
amazing.
Yeah, well, because it's career defining. They've made this much money now, like in terms of the the bidding process. The
Hmm.
TV rights which have been sold, those have been
Yeah.
incredible as well. So it's outstanding for the women's game. It's going to completely change all these people's lives, whether it's Smriti Mandana, whether
But
Alisa Healy, whether it's Harmanpreet. It's going to change. Yes, sorry, you were going to say something.
I'm saying the TV rights were, I think, bought by Viacom 18, right? The same that shows colors. I think the colors के लोग आए तो सोचो
Hmm.
बिग बॉस रात 9 बजे और उसके बाद मैच में आएंगे.
Viacom also had the football World Cup, right?
Yes, I think so. No, that
Then
that Geo TV had Geo Cinemas 18, I think.
okay.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I mean like the fact is that they paid that much money. Like whoever it is, they paid that much money. It's gonna help in bringing in a wider audience. A lot of people will watch it, and I think it's gonna be crazy for these players. And the fact that there's a World Cup coming up now as well, right after the auction. I think the auction will be in the first week of February, and the World Cup will start second week of February, around 10th February. So, in my opinion, it's just a perfect timing for the women's game to blow up in popularity in terms of money, in terms of everything. You're going to see big posters going and thing. Imagine like Smriti if she's wearing the RCB jersey, like it's going to be like Kohli
Hmm.
esque. For the women's version, where
Vibes, yeah.
Harmanpreet wearing Mumbai, Alisa Healy Mumbai, like these kind of these players mingling together, playing with each other, Australian, Indian, England players. It's going to be incredible. And at the toss, you're going to have Smithy versus Harmanpreet. That will be a good rivalry, like Kohli versus Dhoni. So it's gonna be great for the women's game. Bunter's
Yeah.
asking Mithali Raj comes out of retirement. Do you think she will make any impact? She will make an impact for sure off the field, like just even on the field, her presence, like she in terms of guiding the youngsters, the young girls who
Maybe
are
a
coming in.
coach.
Because not just coach, if she plays like for example the role that Dhoni has, she'll have that kind of role. Where in the women's game, she's a legend, Mithali Raj. She's up there in terms of Tendulkar, in terms of games played and everything. So she will
But she's
have a
like
lot of guidance.
40 years old. I don't think she'll try to come off the retirement. And I think she can be a better coach or mentor at this point of
She's
time. I
already
mean,
come out of retirement, I think.
she has? Oh, ma.
Yeah, I think
Kafi
so.
jaldi
That's
thi.
what I was hearing as well. I mean, Punter can confirm that, but I think she has. But if she does play, yeah, of course it will. Maybe she won't make an impact individually, but it will really help the girls coming in because there's going to be a lot of girls with not much experience. You remember,
It's
it's
announced.
again six or seven Indians will play, right? It will be four foreigners. I'm guessing 4 or 5
Mm.
foreigners maximum. So
Mm.
there'll be a lot of inexperience. So someone like her will, really guide these youngsters. So I think it's good. I was expecting one CSK team as well. I was expecting Sunrisers. We both got
Yeah.
disappointed, Chirag. But yeah, CSK, there were rumors that they're not going to bid, and that's eventually what happened. I was also the most I'm surprised is that KKR don't have a franchise.
KKR.
These guys have
Yeah, me
invested
too.
everywhere. They've
Yeah.
invested everywhere except for the SCT20. I think they've invested everywhere.
I
So
think the way RCB looked at it, Mustafa, like they were talking about it, the director was also saying that hey, it was good for us because women's came at the right time. We held our investments in the foreign lands. We didn't go to like SAT20, ILT20. हम ना कहीं भी पैसा नहीं डाले, and we were just waiting for something like this. And now that this is comes, I think that was smart from them because and ILT20 तो छोड़ ही दो. I mean, there's not a lot of talk about it. SAT20 maybe they missed out, but yeah, women's team के लिए रखे, so that was a very smart move.
Yeah, and also I think first like the this has been late. This has been delayed 2 3 years. This IPL should have happened 2 3 years ago. I'll be very honest with you because the women's game has been picking up massively all over the world. If you see even in World Cups and everything, and these people have become stars. A lot of these players,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
even if you look at big media houses when there's a women's World Cup, a lot of people are covering that now. You'll have now, for example, the BGT going on that will finish at 4 5 p.m. Then the T20 World Cup match will probably start 6 7 p.m. India time. Everyone will be watching that game now. Big media houses will be covering. There will be people going and covering as well to South Africa. So I think it's like 2 3 years late, but better late than never. And I think right now, if you look at the current situation, the
It's the
timing
current
is
time.
perfect in the
Perfect.
sense that the World Cup is there
Under
and
19
everything.
World Cup is, and I think India is always like smart in their timing of these kind of tournaments. अगर मैं जिस तरीके से देखा हूँ, in the last 5 years is what it's developed, right? The women's game has developed a lot, and I think इसके हिसाब से अगर अब मैं देख रहा हूँ, and then India's Indian women team in general अगर अपन देख रहे हैं, they've really put on their self on the maps in recent times more than
Mm.
before. So I think with the likes of Smriti Mandani, Richa Ghosh, these are now very big stars in the Munked and everything, all of these hype that are happening in the middle. I think yeah, ये time बिल्कुल सही है. Under 19 में भी जबरदस्त performance चल रही है. And now I think girls are also looking up to take this as a career option and also trying to look up to the stars and stuff. So I think अभी इन लोगों का नाम ज्यादा है than what it was back then. So maybe ये time बहुत सही है for the women's IPL. But yeah, quick breakdown अगर मैं दूं for the teams and their costings, it was a total amount of BCCI got was 4,669 crores, यार, almost $572 million. Ahmedabad was the most expensive, then Mumbai, then Bangalore. Ahmedabad was sold for 1289 crores, Mumbai was 912 crores. Pantar bhai, आप खरीदेगा कुछ इसमें stake. Bangalore was 901 crores. And Delhi was 810 crores, and Lucknow finishing up with 757 crore rupees. पैसा ही
I have a
पैसा है.
question for I have a question for you. In the
Hmm.
auction, who do you think will be the top three most expensive players?
Beth Mooney, uh, Smriti Mandhani, obviously, and Renuka Singh.
I think it will be Harmanpreet,
Hmm.
Smriti, and if I'm putting a foreigner there, then
Your
I think it'll be
Ecclestone,
combination.
baby.
No, I think Alisa Healy, man. She's the best player
Lisa,
that I see.
yeah.
Like, she's the best player in women's cricket for me.
There
So I
were
think,
some jokes. Oh my god, that's so rude, man, Chirag bhai. There was some jokes that RCB already has a woman IPL team. मेरे दिमाग सबसे पहली चीज है, what if the RCB women win the title before the RCB men? That'll be
yeah,
insane, man. Like that'll be so bad. Virat Kohli, I saw him posting a picture today with a warrior coming in the RCB stadium, Chinnaswamy Stadium. I said, you never know, man. If they outdo it, that'll be so funny.
yeah. I think for RCB though, if I just look at them, these guys are really good with their marketing, their social media game, and everything. Imagine, bro, they haven't won a trophy in how many years? They have all the best players, but they still know how to market their product. Their
Market.
Chinnaswamy is always full, and they have like a proper fan base. So yeah, man, RCB, I think
Yeah,
they
the
do a
team
good
is
job.
also like that, man. They have a lot of stars in the team from the beginning, right? They had Jack
Yeah,
Scalise, they had so
they
many
know how
stars in the
to.
past. Yeah,
matlab,
they know how.
They
Yeah,
know they know how to run a successful team without winning a trophy. Like if you
they're
can
like
say
the
that.
they're like the Indian Glazers, huh?
Oh no, I mean
To an
United have
extent,
won
to an
trophies.
extent, to an extent. After Ferguson, they always got like
BP,
the good stars and stuff who like are in the news and stuff. But वैसे हिसाब से देखो मैं, but yeah, Diti Sharma maybe.
yeah, because she's both bat and ball. She's a utility player. She can also be going for big bucks. For West Indies opener, there's Doughton and there is Haley Matthews. Doughton is actually under Russell, man. She bats, bowls, fields, everything. She is a live wire. I think she can go for a lot of money. Might go to RCB, but have that Chris Gale effect. But she is crazy, man. She can open the batting. She can open the bowling if needed. She's bowls in the death overs as well, and she takes some sublime catches. I think that's what you're talking about. But even Haley Matthews is a great opener. She's had some destructive innings we saw in the World Cup also. Shabnam Ismail is someone also coming under the radar. I think she'll also go for some big bucks, but it'll be mainly the Indian players I feel will go a lot of money. I think,
Yeah, look. Again, we'll have to see depending upon that rules क्या है, if they're keeping the, if it's an open thing where you can play foreigners and India, but again फिर वही अगर
no, it's there
Indians को
already
like
the rule. It's either
the
4 or
five or
5, I
four,
think.
I think. Yeah.
Arey, Vinesh bhai is
And
here
this
for a
guy,
long time.
yeah.
Been very happy for Siraj because his journey is inspiration to all younger. I love him because of taking wickets in flat pitch. Is not everyone, but Siraj does magic. Yeah, man. I think it's been an incredible story for Mohammad Siraj from playing, the corporate league in Hyderabad. Before that, there's much more to that story. But from where we saw him, from
Mhm.
there to now, there's a huge increase in pace and quality and accuracy. Everything. It's been great. Will Pakistani women play?
I
I
wish,
don't think
man.
so.
I know but like overall, I wish they play
Yeah,
because
you
there are a
will
lot of talent
convince
there.
Pakistani women, bro.
Yeah, man. You have to project मिलाप करना है पाकिस्तान से दोस्ती करना है खान करना है भाई. But yeah, I think even for like
They
cricket
won't
sake, man,
play.
I think India Pakistan शुरू कर देना यार. Like I want to see Naseem Shah. I want to see these guys also come and play, man.
Yeah,
It'll
like
be
that too, bro. I'm telling you, if Pakistani players play in the IPL, the IPL will be next level. Now,
next
look
level.
to
Exactly.
no. After like the World Cup, it will be the second most important thing. Like
भाई द
it'll be
फर्स्ट
crazy.
आईपीएल हैदराबाद हैड शाहिद अफरीदी. आप लोगों को मालूम नहीं माहौल क्या था हैदराबाद में. लाइक इट वाज नेक्स्ट लेवल. एवरीबॉडी वाज शाहिद भाई एंड द स्टेडियम वर पैक्ड. दो ही डिडंट डू anything. I think had 150 in the whole IPL, but just that Lala magic, that was like we all see, we all probably have our thing against Pakistan as a opponent, but deep down inside, man, we all have one Pakistani that we like.
No, I don't. Yeah, no. I mean, I agree with you 100%. But I was just reading Punter Singh saying, "Will Pakistan won't play?" I don't think they'll play because
Yeah,
it's
they
going to
won't
be the
play.
same. It's a political thing. It's not a thing. I remember also if, that Shoaib Akhtar game at the Eden
Kolkata
Gardens,
Knight Riders,
KKR
yeah.
versus Delhi Capitals when he got, I think, Gambhir Sehwag out.
Gambhir.
Though
Who would
100,000
have thought?
people,
And I
the
think the commentator, if you remember, he said, "Who would have thought Shoaib Akhtar, Eden Gardens, in a Kolkata jersey, bowling to Gambhir in a, I think
yeah,
in a
and
Delhi jersey."
if you remember, everyone was chanting his name. 100,000 people that were behind him. And if you cut to 20 years before that, Shoaib Akhtar, 20 or 15 years before that, Shoaib Akhtar against Tendulkar and Dravid, when he got them back
No,
to back, the whole
exactly.
stadium was silent.
Erupted.
So yeah,
Yeah.
man, the IPL brings players together. I'll be happy to see from the women's thing. If someone like a Healy and Smriti Mandhana are opening, that's something I would like to see. It's a good combination. Bowling wise, Renuka and Ismail Shabnam, if they bowl together, I think for Renuka, allow her to develop as well even more. So it'll be good to see. I think first the World Cup will be the first will be the auction, then the World Cup, and then the IPL. So there's still time to that. I think they should have put the auction right after the World Cup, but I
That
guess they don't want the
even
World Cup.
Talia McGrath, right? If I'm not wrong, I'm just recollecting names now. I think Talia
Yeah,
McGrath
yeah,
might be
there's a
a
lot.
decent.
Yeah. Talia Magra is a
English
very
players भी काफी English players भी काफी. I think the captain of England also is a pretty decent call. है वो काफी players है यार वो अब
talking
के
about
हिसाब
Heather
से.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heather Knight. That was my favorite team: Gilly, Simons, Afridi, Gibbs. Man, that
Yeah.
was the
Chaminda
only thing
Awas.
about. Those are the only players in that team. That's it. The rest कौन थे भाई? वो कौन था
Chaminda
वो
Awas
team?
था. Nuwan Raisa था.
कौन है?
हरमनप्रीत सिंह हरमीत
नहीं था
सिंह था.
नहीं था पहला उसमें.
सेकंड सीजन में आया नहीं जसकरन
पहले
एंड
सीजन में कौन
हरमीत.
था बताओ? कौन थी इन लोग के अलावा apart from these guys and vast. I'm talking about Indian players apart from Rohit Sharma.
Indian.
यही
Apart
तो
from
प्रॉब्लम था. यही तो प्रॉब्लम था.
मैंने थोड़ा
वेणुगोपाल
था.
राव.
या
No,
वेणुगोपाल
it's
राउत था.
I'm not trying to question your knowledge. I'm
No,
saying
no,
that
I'm
you
not.
don't.
I'm not questioning my. I know. I'm trying to check my memory and recollect anyone I'm remembering.
There's
That's all.
no. It's because it was a crap team. Like apart from that, crap goal.
We
And
even
then
had Rahul Sharma. Remember that leg spinner Rahul Sharma?
he came after. I think. I don't think he was
Yeah.
there in the first season.
No. He was.
Sunrisers for me 2016 or 2009. The Gilchrist one. Which one was your favorite team for Hyderabad? The one when Gilchrist won without Afridi.
Without Afridi, obviously, the one we went in South Africa, right?
Yeah, that
I
one
would say
or the 2016.
we had Simon Gilchrist. I'm looking at Timur of teams. I think the first one's always special for me, so I'll go with the first one. But the Warner side was more like balanced in that aspect. But yeah, Gilly just took everyone by a storm. International में local में नहीं जीत के सीधा international में जीत गया अपन.
I think that was more a miracle, but I like the second one better. I enjoyed that more. Beating RCB and RCB, that was incredible.
Yeah,
Because
that was
I agree with you, the Warner's team was more balanced, but still,
yeah.
if you compare it to that RCB lineup, everyone was giving RCB the favorite stack. They're going to win easily. AB was coming off a great knock. So,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
something else.
Shivali Verma for Delhi. Oh man, I forgot about it. Shivali Verma will be a thing. From the captains wise, maybe I think, of course, Mandana will captain one team. I think Harmanpreet will captain one team. Mithali, if she's going to play every game, she might captain, but I'm not sure about that. Deepti Sharma might captain. then I don't know if they'll give someone young like Shefali a captaincy. But it all depends on that auction, which teams they go
Mm.
to, and then we can probably decide. You the Harmanpreet and what's her name, Smriti Mandana. Which teams are they going to, in your opinion?
Harmanpreet and Smriti Mandana, I think might be bought by Mumbai because Mumbai is always smart with their picks. They always have like a brand ambassador in their eyes. So I think Smriti Mandana might go to Mumbai, and Harmanpreet, since there's no Punjab, I'll go with Delhi.
You will go with sorry, Harmanpreet will go to Delhi.
Delhi.
You're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go a bit different. I think Harmanpreet, Mumbai, and Smriti, RCB. I just see her in that RCB jersey, man. I don't know why. I think she's India's best batter right now, and I think RCB will go for her. Lekin, yours is also a very good shout because Mumbai also they have the money as well. They'll have the budget. Also, Faiz, I don't know if you heard news. Ashley Gardner, Australian player, women's
Mm.
cricketer. She's done really well for the team. She's been upset because they're playing a game against Pakistan 26th January, which is Australia Day, but it's also a day where I think the indigenous people and the minority in Australia went through a lot on that day when they separated. You know, they were tortured or whatever it was. So she's been very upset with that. But it's good to see her teammates supporting her, not taking it lightly. If they agree that it's a big deal, like if they should respect her, and I think like she doesn't want to play on that day, and it's good to see the support. Everyone has their own thing, especially minority groups don't have a say. But now, like someone like her playing, I think it also
Mm.
helps her community. Ki bhai, and ऐसा बोल रही तो we have something a stand to a ground to stand on basically.
Yeah, and that basically gives you a comfort and a level of security also in the team from her perspective कि भाई at least the team members have got back. भी सुने नहीं सुने at least अपने वाले सुने तो काफी रहता है. At certain times लोग अपने वाले भी नहीं समझते ये चीज को. And her team members coming out in that support really, yeah, it helps her mentally as well to sort of get ready for that game.
Mm-hmm. This is Vinay saying 20. Vinay by saying 24 overs, 48 for one. Ravindra Jadeja and Ranji. It's good to see him back. That's all I'll say. It's good to see him back. Let him get into that rhythm. I think get some more overs under his belt, more overs, and then we'll see before the Australia will assess and see if he's fit enough to play. Then he'll play that first Test match. But I'm really happy that he's back. I don't mind the figures, whatever the figures are. I'm not looking at it. I'm just looking that he's back and he's bowling overs. 24 over the 24 is more important than the 48
Yeah.
for one right now. Even if you took a for 5 for, I think those 24 overs are the important thing because usko time ho gaya आते के, right? आके
Yeah, and then
time ho
like
gaya.
अभी तो batting भी चल रही है उन लोगों की, तो I think he'll be getting, obviously let's see what he does with the bat. But yeah, what Mustafa said, if he's able to sustain 24 overs with coming back from a knee injury, that is a big shout, and that's much more to be seen. Yeah, I think Chirag bhai, agreeing with you. Mandana is from Bangalore. RCB will give everything to have her in the team. So yeah, I think possibly Smriti Mandana to RCB is what you are seeing, but I'm just looking at from Gio Dhandanathan kind of a point of view. मोटा भाई वहां पे किसको भी नहीं छोड़ दे भाई. मोटा भाई
I mean
लिवरपूल को
that's
नहीं
true.
छोड़ रहे अभी.
That's true. I remember in the first IPL also. If you think there's people were thinking Mumbai में कौन आएगा इसमें कौन आएगा like and Sachin and all these guys Jayasuriya they all went to Mumbai that time and in general like Rohit Sharma also transferred from Hyderabad to Mumbai also. So Mumbai
मुंबई
do get big players. They do get big players. अरे मुस्तफा भाई कल साउथ अफ्रीकन लीग
अफ्रीका.
में 100 आया किसी ने बना दिया ने अपना नाम अमर कर दिया. नो और भाई नितिन भाई थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस. हम लोग कल यही डिस्कस करते हम लोग लाइव थे जब उन्होंने 100 मारे थे आपके लिए वेट कर रहे थे. हम लोग वेट कर रहे नितिन भाई कब आएंगे और कब बोलेंगे भाई फाफ ने 100 मारा. हम लोग देख रहे थे वो. अब नितिन भाई मेरे को ये बोलो कि सबसे महंगी प्लेयर कौन रहेंगी वुमेन आईपीएल में बिकॉज आप बहुत अच्छे वो करते हैं राइट प्रेडिक्शंस. तो आप मेरे को ये बताओ सबसे महंगे प्लेयर कौन
आपकी
रहेंगे वुमेन.
आपकी भविष्यवाणी क्या बोल रही है नितिन बासी
और मेरे को
ये
एग्जैक्ट प्राइस दो. एग्जैक्ट प्राइस दो.
बढ़िया.
Also,
कम
in the Ranchi, there was the Delhi Hyderabad were also playing. I had my eye on that. I don't know if the guy's related to Ambati Raidu, but he scored a fabulous 100 against Delhi. It was a good innings, and Delhi, I think, in reply, they're 220 for 5 or something around that. So
Yeah.
that's a good game going on. But I think Delhi are probably favorites going into the next day.
Your boy Baduni is on strike, I think, right now.
He's not a striker. It's not going on right now.
Not now, man.
Is it?
Like currently, I end days
I'm like,
play.
oh, क्या day night शुरू हो गया? मतलब, because sometimes you do play with the pink ball, but I don't think, yeah, this one is. It would
It
be
will
either
either be
Harman or
Harman or Smriti for Mumbai. They will go for one of the, yeah, 100%. And I think Smriti more because of her, consistency. And Harman's also there, but like Smriti is just very well more established, I think.
yeah,
But आशीष के
100%.
ऊपर है अब एंड में हमने स्मृति को कहाँ भेजता आशीष अगर if you're watching आशीष
Do
loves
you
Smriti
have?
Mandana.
Are you going? Do you know who you're going to support? Or are you going to wait for the auction?
There's no Hyderabad, so everyone's neutral for me.
I mean, I'll probably pick a team once I see the auction, and
I'll probably pick Bangalore because they're from the south. That's the only reason.
I have Bangalore blood. My grandmother was from
My
Bangalore,
my
so
my roots are also from Mysore, so my dad's side.
my so yeah. And where else?
Bhopal. But then I'll go to Lucknow. That's too far up.
Lucknow.
Delhi
Lucknow,
actually.
yeah.
Delhi. Delhi maybe.
Delhi, Lucknow, yeah. Me, Bangalore. Again, it'll depend on who buys who. But Mumbai, I never support.
हैदराबाद के रहना था यार वो हैदराबाद के फरीदा आप आ रहे रुखसाना आप आ रहे नजमा आप आ रहे सर बेहतरीन रहता था सिचुएशन हैदराबाद के बच्चे आ रहे बोल तो बट कोई भी नहीं आ रहा this T20 World Cup will be so big for me. Yeah, and I think now everybody will be like wanting to get an auction, a contract. So everyone's going to be playing with everything that they have in them. So yeah, so how do you see this World Cup panning out, man?
Bro, I'll tell you, दिल पे हाथ डालो और मेरे को बोलो. Last year, did you ever think you would be discussing women's cricket right now? Like, would you be discussing these
मैं
players?
अपने दिल पे और सब जगह हाथ रख के ये बोल सकता हूँ कि नो आई वुड नॉट बट सेकेंडली मेरे को विद इन द टाइम आई स्पेंड विद मुस्तफा आई थिंक 3 महीने से ज्यादा 4 महीने में भी आई gained a lot more knowledge than I had of women's
No,
cricket in general. नहीं मैं आपकी तारीफ नहीं कर रहा हूँ मतलब आप तारीफ के काबिल है ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं लेकिन I have learned more of women's cricket in the past 4 or 5 months than what I had ever in my life, very honestly.
yeah, so then it's on the way up, right? So it's going to be
So
huge.
they were
It's on the
waiting,
way up.
basically India, BCCI was waiting for me to, you know, gain some knowledge and then they started the IPL. So that's a good
Yeah,
timing.
yeah, and more and more people will watch it. Like, I've been watching it. I'll be honest with you, since 2017. That's when I was watching consistently women's cricket. Before that, I
Yeah.
wasn't watching that much. I remember 2017, the World Cup had got me engaged when India, that sad end to that. I think it was Shabsrol or something from England who finished it off, and India should have won that game, that final, and they didn't. But that's when my interest picked up, and
I think
now
even Roger Binney in the middle gave an interview a few days ago and he was saying कि भाई मेरे को भी नहीं expectations थे कि 5 years में इतना change रहेगा and I'm very happy for the game. So I think everyone somewhere down the line now is coming to start to respect the women's cricket and I mean respect तो हमेशा से रहती है obviously any athlete is respected but like when you give importance and limelight I think limelight is the right word to use here and being in the talks अब ज़्यादा शुरू हो गया है women's का and I'm pretty sure Chirag Bhai and everyone now they're going to probably we'll all go watch IPL women's as well. I mean, it's going to be like that.
yeah, we will cover that for sure. I think that's going to be something that it'll be a good learning curve, but at the same time, it'll be a lot of fun, man. Imagine, packed crowds over there and you're supporting your city and some place. And it's right after the World Cup, man. So a lot of people will know the players because a lot of us will be
And
following that World
also,
Cup.
Mustafa, one more key thing, I know if you're going to agree with me, but women's cricket is giving more, more, क्या बोल सकते scope to be a global sport than men's. In terms of, we have Rwanda, Indonesia, and all of these countries playing where in men's में इतने साल में आज तक नहीं देखा. But the only team that we saw probably was Afghanistan. We had Kenya back in the day. But in तो Rwanda, Indonesia, Thailand, किधर की चले आ रही women's team. So that is also like, one more thing that I'm very fascinated by in the women's department.
I mean, in men's you have also, but Khali, we don't.
But
We
it's still
don't
like
look.
somewhere on the same pedestal, like women's. Like men, some are
Like,
very light years ahead.
you know
Light
that
years ahead.
there was a tournament during the T20 World Cup just after it, in the Middle East in Saudi Arabia where we were born. There
GCC,
is
yeah,
yeah,
Oman
there's
and all
Saudi
of these
Arabia.
guys. Yeah.
yeah, Canada also played, and these players. So they play even the men's. So I don't like
No, but
completely
I'm
agree
saying
with
like,
that.
see, मेरा कैसा देख रहा हूँ ना, like everybody still on the women's, they can get back faster. Like अब तुम expect नहीं कर सकते Oman, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, या Dubai kind of places will compete with Australia, South Africa, New Zealand and stuff. But whereas in the women's, you see Rwanda is like killing it, Zimbabwe, they're killing other teams, and like West Indies, Zimbabwe. These are interesting, you know, they're like on the same level at some point. But men's में क्या है, so much like पीछे हो गया टाइम या आगे हो गया टाइम कि यू नो क्रिकेट में इंडिया एंड ऑल ऑफ दीस गाइस आर ऑलरेडी वेरी वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड बट इन अ वुमेन्स डिपार्टमेंट यू डोंट सी दैट you can still see
Mm-hmm.
like an unknown country coming up and rising to the ranks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so. I only time will tell, but I guess so. I
No,
mean,
like you understand my point, right? Like what I'm trying to make to an
yeah,
extent.
yeah,
Thank
I
God.
understand.
दिल पे हाथ
Uh,
रखो.
I understand the thing. Yeah,
ये
credit
देखे
goes to
ए भाई ये सवाल देखो आप पहले यूएई के वुमेन टीम है कई को इंस्टाग्राम
under
आईडीज
19,
होना इंस्टाग्राम
under
आईडीज
19,
होना सुधीर भाई को.
under 19 team hai, I
है
think.
है
And this is also a very good shout by the way. Elisa Piri,
या
oof,
एलिसा पेरी.
what a player, man.
Any relation to Matthew
Crazy.
Perry?
No, she's Australian. He's American. I don't think there is any relation. Yep, credit goes to Harman and Smithy. They carried women's team a lot of the time. Also, Harman was pushing BCCI to have WIPL to close the gap between Australia and India. 100%. You know, a lot of credit goes to these two girls. Also, Mithali Raj. You know, she's done a lot for the women's game. At that time, even when we never used to watch, or I never used to watch,
Yeah, we
I
knew
still knew
Mithali
who
Raj.
Mithali Raj
Yeah.
was. Like, you know, we knew exactly who she was and what stature she had in Indian women's cricket. You know, even Churan Goswami. She's another one
Yeah, I
that,
was coming to
you
that.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
उनकी भी
I'm,
बायोपिक आने वाली है.
I criticized her a lot during the last World Cup, and Punter watching will know that. But she has done a lot for the Indians game. She's done a lot for Indian women cricket as well. So if you go back that generation, those two, and then these two currently have done really well. And now the next generation, Jemima Rodriguez, I think sensational talent. Yeah,
Jemima.
she's really good. Of
Richa.
course, Richa Ghosh, of course, and then Shefali Verma. These people have been outstanding. You remember, Faiz, I don't know if you saw this, but in 2021 World Cup, the 2020, no, sorry, 2020, just before COVID struck, like a week before COVID, it was the T20 World Cup final between India and Australia. That
In
World
Australia.
Cup, Shefali Verma came as a 16-year-old and was smashing it. And I think she hit a 50 against Australia in the first game. They beat Australia, but then they lost in the final. So in that event, like, you know, a girl like her who's 16-year-old smashing it around, incredible. And I think that final, that was the start of, you know, the popularity growing
Things.
even more.
Yeah.
You know, I think what's her name? That singer also came, man. Sudhir Bhaiya, मेरे को बोला, Katy Perry, she came also and performed in the finals, and it was a huge event. So someone like
All Perry's,
Shefali
हाँ,
Verma,
एलिसा पेरी, मैथ्यू पेरी, कैरी पेरी, पूरे पेरी आ गए.
yeah, at the age of 16 to play in a tournament like that, and it just shows that, you know, these people have really they have that confidence now, they have the talent, and is now taking it a step further, basically.
ये देखो ये ये सुधीर भाई बोल रहे हैं, ये वुमेन टीम की भी बिग मैच में चोक कर देती है. चोक करे करे लेकिन 16 साल की उम्र में फाइनल पहुंचे भाई, वो बड़ी बात है. एंड आई मीन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो स्क्वाड है.
ये बात तो सही है, 3 बार चोक करे उन लोग, दे डिड चोक, एंड स्पेशली आई वुड से द कॉमनवेल्थ, तो वो तो हाथ में था मैच, मैं तो पूरा देख रहा था, आई वाज फॉलोइंग इट वेरी क्लोजली, and I thought the game was in the pocket. I was ready to celebrate. I was very excited, but they threw that game away. So they do choke, but they will learn from this. Also, you have to understand, player for player, they're not as talented as the Australian team, but they will get there. I think they will get there.
Yeah, and definitely all the under 19 losses that have been coming up, they're showing in the likes of, you know, Sharawat and all of these players. They're showing sort of, you know, okay, they're taking women cricket seriously and developing next generation hopefully and quicker. So yeah, I mean
बिल्कुल.
it's interesting to see in the future. But yeah, काफी चीज है. वुमेन्स आईपीएल आने वाला है, फिर मेंस आईपीएल आने वाला है, इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया है इससे पहले. लॉट ऑफ क्रिकेट हैज बीन गोइंग अराउंड. आज बीपीएल के भी 2 मैचेस थे, जस्ट टू टेक स्लाइट टर्न फ्रॉम द डिस्कशन दैट वी वर हैविंग, where you know Hobart won and you know managed to win and still on the top of the table. But Mustafa, ऐसे T20 का ब्रेक है और क्या बोलते हैं अपन, बॉर्डर गवास्कर. आर यू मोर इंटरेस्टेड इन द बॉर्डर गवास्कर और द T20 बिटवीन इंडिया एंड न्यूजीलैंड?
Of course, the Border Gavaskar. Of course, 100% the Border Gavaskar. I'm more interested in that. But the T20 will just be fun, right? There's 3 matches. It'll be good timing. There'll be packed crowds. Everyone likes the T20, so I will look forward to that for sure. But the Test series, I'm eagerly anticipating it. I can't wait because it's this, you know, the World Test Championship on the line as well, and it's two cracking teams, India and Australia, both very good teams. Australia at their peak right now. After a long time, they're a top team, and I will be interested to see how India take this challenge. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think also, as in the Big Bash today, the Sydney Thunder was a very low scoring game, right? Was it?
Yeah, I was just yeah. So there were two matches today,
Zampa
basically.
Zampa
Yeah,
bowled
two
really
matches
well in
there.
that.
एक तो Hobart Hurricanes and both were low scoring actually. Hobart Hurricane managed to defend 120 against Brisbane Heat. They won by 2 runs. It was a very dramatic ending. I say 50 from Hobart Hurricanes, 50 from McAllister Wright, who scored 56 and 56. A very slow innings, but he had to do it according to the situation. Pick up the bowlers again was the Michael Nesser, 4 wickets, 35 runs. This guy is like consistently getting a 4 wicket haul.
I
From the
like this guy.
Brisbane his point of view, it was Pearson and Sam Hayes' little bit partnership that tried to sort of get to the 120, but they failed. Nathan Ellis bowling a phenomenal spell of 4 overs 26 for two, and then Fahim Ashraf 4 overs 19 for two. So Hobart managing to defend 120 runs today, and the second match was between Melbourne Stars and Sydney Thunder, where Melbourne Stars only scored 119, but Sydney Thunder managed to get through, but it was a very close match. Uh,
Zampa bowled really well, man. He kept Melbourne in the game. He bowled
Zampa
really
and
well in
Usman
that.
Khader also. Usman Khader bowled Usman Khader bowled for Sydney Thunder. He got three wickets, 24 runs in 4 overs. But yeah, Zampa bowled I think 3 wickets, 25 runs in 4 overs. So Zampa was
Yeah, and that too, under pressure he was bowling. Usman Khader, I saw his spell as well, very impressive. His
mhm.
variations have been really good. He's giving some good loop on the ball, and he has a good quicker one as well on him that I noticed today. Adam Zampa, तो like उन्हें तो मंजावा खिलाड़ी हो गया. He knows he's very experienced. He knows किधर डालना है क्या डालना है. And I think actually, if you notice, compare it to the other BBLs now, this BBL is actually, if you look at it, I know there's some big players not playing, but because the Australian big players are playing, थोड़ा interest है. Like अगर
या
मजा आ रहा है
एंड आप
देखने
देखो पूरे इधर से जाके साउथ अफ्रीका का बॉयकॉट करके अफगानिस्तान का बॉयकॉट करके दे ट्राइंग टू गेट T20 अंडर देयर बेल्ट. उस्मान ख्वाजा है, लैबुशेन है, जैम्पा है, वार्नर है,
Steve Smith.
शॉन एबर्ट तो खेला, शॉन मार्श भी आ गया, अब तो कितने की आ गया. एंड आई थिंक या इट्स जस्ट मेकिंग इट इंटरेस्टिंग. फिंच भी है. तो अभी तो हिसाब से बिग बैश का टेबल पर्थ इज on 22 points, Sydney Sixers 21, Melbourne Dragons 14, and Sydney Thunder 14. So I think the top two are pretty much in a good comfortable spot at this point of time. Tournament भी बहुत बड़ा है मुस्तफा, to be honest. It's very very big, and that is also one cause where I
They're going
think
to
viewership.
shorten it next year.
Yeah.
They announced something that they're going to shorten it next year, the Big Bash. And there's too
Mhm.
much T20 cricket, right? There's a lot of competition. So the one thing that they have is their time is a bit different. So you can watch that at a separate time if you're free. And then the IL T20 and SA T20, the timings clash. So that's a bit of unfortunate to that way. So a lot of T20 cricket from there. The अंडर 19 का क्या सिचुएशन है भाई? अभी ये बताओ मेरे को. आप ये खबर दे रहे तो वो भी दे दो.
Yeah, 100%. Under 19 में भी अभी दो मैचेस चल रहे थे. I think yesterday West Indies lost to England by a 95 run, and UAE lost to Bangladesh. Bangladesh beating them by 5 wickets.
UAE what? Women's. I told you they are
Women's,
women's.
yeah, women's, yeah, under 19. Yeah. So Sudhir bhai, if you're wondering, then yes,
Yeah,
they do have
there you
a.
go.
Yeah, there you go, and just don't Instagram them because they won't reply. Maybe to you they will, but yeah, so that was the news from there. Abhi agar table dekh rahe अपन from the whole thing right now, super sixes के group में India is on top with 6 points for group 1, and Australia is second. On net
Hmm.
net, India is a little bit ahead. Group 2, England women under 19 is on top with 8, and New Zealand is second. Pakistan is third. So that is the situation right now. I think super sixes के बाद then we'll come to know आगे का
आप
question.
एक चीज नोटिस करो, मगर इंडिया is first, but look at the points the people under them have. Australia, Bangladesh, and South Africa,
They're all on 6. We're on just a very neck to neck situation. Yeah.
including India. So India is just on run rate, I think, ahead. So it's
Yeah.
very close.
Just
It doesn't mean that
India is
India will.
2.8, Australia is 2.2, Bangladesh, and Bangladesh have been fantastic. I think they've lost only one match, if I'm not wrong, throughout this tournament. And yeah, they're in phenomenal form right now.
So yeah, I think Chirag bhai is right. Matches, I think, almost पूरे हो गए. एक आध they're waiting for, but I think the Indian women's under 19 is in one semi-final, which is on Friday, and the second Friday semi-final, Australia is in that. So I think,
Yeah, you're right.
but it's not decided who their opposition is yet, I think. So I think there's one more set of matches. I'm not sure though, but I know that India is in one semi-final, Australia is in another semi-final.
That's true.
It
Yeah,
was
you're
very
right. And
close,
those are
very
gonna
very
be
close.
tomorrow, 20 Friday को ही है मुस्तफा ये भी 27th with the there's a lot of matches on Friday man. सब लोग Friday को बुक कर दे तो कल ही पठान देखना पड़ेगा मेरे हिसाब से आज
Sorry,
तो
bhai,
काफी
I
और भाई
just shouldn't. You don't want
कोई भी
spoilers.
Instagram पे
Spoiler नहीं होना.
कोई भी
Spoiler नहीं होना.
हाँ स्पॉइलर न को दो और Instagram पे कोई स्टोरीज न को देखो आज पूरे लोग आज स्टोरीज डाल दे मैं तो एक खोलते कि जरा भनक पड़ते कि मैं आंखा बंद करने वाला नहीं लाइट लो आज Instagram को and yeah it's just messed up.
Um, Also,
Do a watch along in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Yeah, we'll definitely try to do a watch along, or probably come towards the dying moments of the last, like the day, so we can start our podcast by then. Hopefully, we are planning on certain things, and yeah, we'll definitely get back to you. Yeah, Mustafa, you're saying something?
no, I was saying for the England South Africa series, I'm really excited for that series. I hope we get to see some close encounters, some big scores. Jofra
Yeah,
Archer back in action, man. Him versus Rabada. I know they played together in SAT20, but now they're going to be opposition. Butler versus Rabada will be a good competition. Archer versus the South African batting. That will be also good. So I'm really
Markram is
looking
also in the
forward to
team.
it.
I'm happy to see Markram also back in the squad. And then you have, I mean, he is there on the ODI squad, but like, you have Sisanda Magala, who was also, there. David Miller is there. Andre Noche. So yeah, a lot of players. Phil Salt. Yeah, that's another one I was wanting to see because he was performing well. Will Jackson also there, not there, but he has also been performing very well.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
basically what I was trying to say is that England versus South Africa actually do produce some good games. They will do, and I think now that, like you mentioned, all these players are there. The big players, the big boys are there. So it's going to be a good competitive series with both
Mhm.
bat and ball. There's going to be some raw pace, man. No care about the Archer. There's going to be a lot of pace, so that's always good to watch. And whenever Butler is playing, I'm always intrigued. तो it's going to be a good series, England versus South
Yeah.
Africa. And माहौल भी अच्छा रहता है. South Africa में देखो कैसे रहते हैं grounds. Everybody comes and watches. They're always packed and they're enjoying the weather. They're enjoying the summer. So it'll be a good spectacle, I think, this series.
Yes, sir. सुधीर भाई सर ये चेसिंग ग्रीन एरोस पर आप क्यों नहीं आते मुस्तफा भाई आप क्यों नहीं आते चेसिंग ग्रीन एरोस पे बताइए दर्शकों को
मैं आता था फिर उसके बाद क्या बोलते सो अब नहीं आता हूँ बिकॉज हमारे पास दो अच्छे अच्छे लोग जर्नलिस्ट काम कर रहे हैं उस पर अच्छा प्रोफेशनल यू नो दे डूइंग थिंग एंड आल्सो कोई पीछे बिहाइंड द सीन्स भी रहना चाहिए राइट थोड़ा गाइड करने के लिए एंड थिंग हाँ तो
BTS.
मैं आई कम वन डे होपफुली one day when we reach a certain amount or there's a certain day to celebrate I'll come but I like to be behind the scenes not always in front of the camera. So, but one day I'll come for sure. They can, yeah. That's it's fun that way. It also gives me the experience of producing a show about doing behind the scenes. How what the amount of work which goes in that is also fun. It's also good, and you learn a lot as well on the job.
Yeah.
Presenting is also fun. It's a different challenge, and I think I'm not good enough right now to be on that level. I have to keep growing, and hopefully I will get to that level and think so. There's people who are presenting better than me and they're willing to do it right now, so why not? In a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And also, like, these guys are very well known in the community of FPL. Like, जो main उसका जो मुद्दा है, जो topic है वो podcast की like football and fantasy Premier League and stuff. So they know their stuff. एक journalist है, दूसरा FPL guru बोल सकते हैं आप या fantasy game का guru है. तो and yeah, you should really check them out. And अगर आप football नहीं देखते सुधीर भाई, I would recommend आप देखो pick a team. Basically, obviously, it adds more interest to the game. Obviously, आपकी एक team रहती है फिर आपकी जो टीम आप फैंटेसी पे बनाते और फिर वो लोग खेल रहे नहीं खेल रहे तो इट एड्स टू द होल ड्रामा एक्साइटमेंट तो काफी मजा आता है उसके लिए दोस्तों में भी नोक-झोंक होती रहती है अब जैसे हमारे पास मुस्तफा भाई में पंटर ये जो भी हमारे आते हैं रेगुलर वी ऑल आर इन अ ग्रुप वी आर अगेंस्ट ईच अदर सो इट्स फन लाइक दैट सो होपफुली यू do something
Because
I thank you so much for subscribing
what is
Sudhir
your
bhai.
top three sports? Top three, one, two, three. Your favorite three sports ranking first, best, second, third. If you want more options, I think you can do top five. But yeah, top three I think
Yeah,
is good enough. I don't think we have
watching
to. Yeah,
watching
yeah,
or
watching,
playing watching or playing
watching. Playing to
oh,
it doesn't matter if you like
what
if you like watching it then you like playing that the most.
I would say if watching playing दोनों वाला I'll say football first. I love cricket a lot, but in the middle,
Oh,
I even like I in the middle I was also in a gap of cricket. But I mean, we always used to text and stuff, and I used to keep just updating myself with the scores and stuff because obviously just जब job में घुस जाते हैं आप और
समझ
stuff
गया
मुश्किल
बोलो
है. Football,
top
cricket,
three.
हाँ football, cricket, and yeah, third sport कौन सा है? I don't actually have a very big third sport.
You don't have. I'll go cricket, football,
Basketball.
basketball. Tennis is close though. I really like tennis. So basketball, tennis is
I just watch Kabhi Kabhi tennis and basketball like these
today.
very
Djokovic won.
rarely.
I was watching that game. Djokovic won today's next through the next round. Sania Mirza is also into the knockouts with in the mixed doubles as well. She's in the semi-finals if I'm not mistaken. So I'm watching that Australian Open. I really like tennis as well, man. But basketball because I attended live games. I've attended some live tennis games, but Rogers Cup,
To
not
play
the.
I would have a third would be table tennis. Obviously, that would be my third sport probably. Sports while
Yeah,
anything आप खिला लो मैं खेलने को मजा आ जाता है I don't mind. But
मेरा तो
yeah, if you're
फेवरेट स्पोर्ट
asking,
आजकल
watch.
पैडल बॉल है दैट्स माय फेवरेट स्पोर्ट
So
क्रिकेट
it's
कबड्डी
yeah,
पबजी I mean that's a good shout PUBG you can say it's an e-sport so yeah
esports. Yeah, it's a sport. Yeah, hundred
consider it
percent.
that yeah kabaddi man I've never played kabaddi so I don't know how it is
अब
it
तो
looks
खो
like
खो भी
fun
आ गया यार अभी तो कितने लीग है खो खो भी आ गया कबड्डी all these games that we used to play in the gardens इधर आके आ गया गिल्ली डंडा भी दूर नहीं है एक दिन गिल्ली डंडा भी आ जाएगा गिल्ली
I
डंडा
thought you were
प्रीमियर
going to
लीग
say your I know what your third sport is I'm surprised you didn't say it
what gym.
UFC
Yeah, I
yeah
mean, again, I can't call myself a very big fan, very honestly. Like, I've just watched a couple of, like, I watched a fair bit, but ऐसा नहीं कि I'll regularly tune into it, like as a cricket or a football, you know what I mean? And I'm going to be very honest with what I'm saying. Basketball also कभी कभी आप जब मुस्तफा भाई की टीम टोरंटो रैप्टर्स जब देख रहा था मैं थोड़ा आई रिमेंबर वी यूज्ड टू मैसेज इस तरह उनके टाइम से मेरे को 6-5 बजे सुबह में मैच रहता था I would sometimes watch those things. Or I'm not a regular like viewer. Yeah, UFC, Khabib ka, I like Khabib and I like Islam Makhavic. I like even Conor McGregor का एक तारीख से अगर उसकी जर्नी देखे but it's not like I would 100% say call myself a very big fan. But हाँ देख ले सकते आप कुछ भी दिखा लो भाई कुछ भी खिला लो खेल लेते कुछ भी दिखाओ देख लेते
अमेरिकन स्पोर्ट्स का क्या है मालूम टाइम आउट बहुत रहते हैं बास्केटबॉल इज अ वेरी फास्ट गेम मगर फिर लास्ट क्वार्टर में अगर फंस गया गेम टाइम आउट बहुत रहते हैं एनएफएल एवरी 2 minutes I used to be big into NFL but I stopped watching because I started getting bored man and I was a huge fan of that sport I really liked what's his name man Vic था क्या लेफ्ट जो quarterback था Falcons का I forgot his name something Vic he got in trouble also later on in his career
yeah
but,
number 7 yeah I know what you're
yeah,
talking
so
about
I was very into that as well, but there's too many timeouts and stuff. But basketball, I still love it because it's still a quick game despite the timeouts and everything. Basketball is a very good game and it has some clutch moments. Imran bhai,
oh
back to
there you
cricket.
have it
India versus New
yeah
Zealand. Okay, there you go. That's confirmed. So India versus New Zealand and New Zealand से पड़ गया था.
वाह न्यूजीलैंड नेक्स्ट लेवल है भाई
न्यूजीलैंड हर वक्त इंडिया को वायर करती भाई हॉकी में भी कर दी Can Shefali Verma take revenge on New Zealand for the rest of the country and take India to their first under-19 World Cup final? I will cover these games. I will definitely watch both. So I am into that. I think we'll have to split. Like Faz will probably watch the England South Africa. We can both watch the India New Zealand, and then I'll cover this. We'll cover and so we can get you like exactly some because
perspectives
sometimes
yeah
sometimes
you
if you're
miss
not
out on
watching it
it
live then thoda miss out ho jata so we'll try to cover one person will cover that one person we're human after all so we'll split it out I'm very but if you look
yeah
at it from now first who are your favorites to be in the finals and who do you think will win the championship
Man, also India, New Zealand जिस तरीके के दोनों टीमां हैं, they look on right now equal on a level. I think India and New Zealand, but I will obviously have that bias towards India, so I'm going to say India. But on the coffin dance music is on for under 91. Are you calling Undertaker for the coffin? No, you never know. Undertaker कैसे बच्चियां उड़ जाते हैं, जीन वाले टंग वाले उड़ जाने वाले बच्चियां. ये हमारे गले पड़ गए.
let's go India versus Australia
Australia, yeah.
yeah India versus Australia but England again a good team as well देखेंगे क्या होता है and also I don't know man about India New Zealand I always have a shady feeling with New Zealand so let's see what happens but I'm just going India Australia for now but it's a good segue going into that Senior World Cup as well so excited for this semi-finals and looking forward to everything which is to come Faz, I think tomorrow we'll do the previews of the India versus New Zealand T20 and Pakistan,
South Africa,
not
England.
Pakistan, sorry,
South
South
Africa,
Africa,
England.
Yeah, 100%. और कुछ है बताने का तो ये ने तो इजाजत ले लेंगे.
PSL
Substitute
substitute.
going on right now. Bro, what are your thoughts on Babar Azam playing for the Zalmi, man? He was playing for Karachi, right? Now he's playing for the Zalmi.
कराची
So what are your
जालिम
thoughts
थे,
on
कौन थे वो?
Zalmi? No, no,
Zalmi, yeah.
no, Karachi Kings. Peshawar Zalmi. He's
Kings.
playing for Peshawar now. So what is your thought on that? Because Babar was always associated with the Karachi franchise, and now suddenly he's playing for Peshawar, a big icon like that to rope in. Because someone like a Virat Kohli doesn't he
Change
hasn't
teams.
moved to RCB. I thought Babar would be similar, but yeah, your thoughts on Babar playing for Peshawar?
Yeah, I think it just I don't think they read that much
I
into
don't
it
think
as
you have thoughts on it.
yeah, मेरे को ज़्यादा thoughts भी
For
नहीं
me,
है
it was
because
surprising. I'll tell you. For me, it was surprising. I think, for a Lahore boy to play captain Karachi, it was a fun kind of thing just to show that he's playing. I think it was cool, and if he could stay that franchise, it was good. But also, if you look at it from another point of view, it brings a freshness for Peshawar fans. They will be backing this guy now, and it's something. Sometimes it's good to freshen it up. I always used to think, imagine Kohli plays for Sunrisers. So if that would happen, I would be really happy. So Peshawar fans will be extremely happy that Babar is there. Look at Karachi lineup, all anti-Babar. Yeah, I need to check that out. अच्छा हुआ टेस्ट प्लेयर को निकाल दिया कराची ने. So maybe मगर बाबर की एक चीज है, रन्स तो बनाता है उन्हें, जो भी है रन्स तो बनाता है. Whether that's match winning, it's a separate thing. And he will also pull in the crowds, I think, right? पाकिस्तान में तो उसके फैंस बहुत रहेंगे, तो उन्हें ऐसा प्लेयर है तो पेशावर को हेल्प करेगा वो.
yeah, 100%.
So yeah, that wraps it up, Faz. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everybody for joining. Sudhir bhai, Ibrahim bhai, Chirag bhai, Punter bhai, all of us, have enjoyed this conversation hopefully, and we'll catch you tomorrow for the previews. Make sure you
Yeah,
like and
मजा आने
subscribe,
वाला
share
है
it.
T20 में तो मजा आने वाली है. I want to see Glenn Phillips, Bracewell, these guys, come up.
Yeah,
ओहो
इसलिए उन्हें
क्या
बाबर, बाबर इसकी नई पट्टी, तो maybe that's
apparently
what.
सुना मैं yeah Iman Wasim.
So yeah, I will catch you tomorrow, Faz, with the previews, and everybody who is watching, like and subscribe, share it with your friends, please. We really appreciate it. We're a new channel and we're looking to continue to grow. We'll get you the latest content. We'll try to do different things now with the big series approaching. We'll try to do some different things and take it from there. If you have any advice, you can always give us, and we're always open to new suggestions. Yeah, Faz, ijazat.
Ijazat sir.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good night, everybody.